Hello, I'm Jen Carlos with this week's LCAT News Update. On Monday, the school committee opened a discussion on whether or not to adopt school choice for the 2018-2019 school year. The committee votes annually to accept or reject participation in the program.
So every year, school committees are required to look at the school choice program and decide whether to participate, or if they are participating, to continue participation in the school choice program. But they apply for these slots that are designated for specific grade levels. So the leadership team discussed this, and what I gave you was our most recent Sims report, so it just gives you an idea of, I think they would be in favor of a structured and planned entrance into school choice, specifically at grade levels where you see that we're below sort of that threshold of 200 students.
Members weighed the pros and cons of opening up slots for students from other districts to attend East Longmeadow schools. East Longmeadow currently does not accept school choice students and has 15 East Longmeadow students who choose to attend schools in other districts under the program.
I think if we're going to do it, we should jump into it and take a substantial amount of students, which I think if these numbers would get you there, I think, I'm thinking 20 if we decided to do it.
So if you take these students in, get $100,000, their town council might be going, oh, well, gee, now you got $100,000. They might very well say you don't need that money.
Yep. If you're using 200 as a benchmark, we're not far from that 200 number. And if the bump, we have no control over what's going to happen between May and August.
Correct.
And I'm very hesitant about adding anything because our numbers are trending up a little bit. I'm concerned about if last year's kindergarten was an aberration or if it's a pattern.
Just be aware that taking in school choice students is not as exciting as it may seem. Having been involved when we did it years ago, two things still stand out to me. First was a social adjustment, which was difficult. The second, which is kind of subtle but just as dramatic, is the educational difficulty. Our programs here are different than the programs they're coming from, the way we teach, our content, etc. These students really had a difficult time. I think we're doing fine without school choice. The town gives us money that we need. I don't know what we gain by bringing kids in from other communities. And if I walk down the street and someone says, I bought a house in East Longmeadow, I should have stayed in Springfield and tried school choice. Could have saved myself a lot of money buying a house in East Longmeadow. I don't know how I'd answer that question.
And I don't think that our leadership team would recommend it if they didn't think they could handle the students coming in.
Well, historically, does it add to diversification of the student population?
I think it would. I don't have any statistics.
I mean,
The
it's a lottery
opportunity's there.
system too, so
Right.
it could be
Right,
the
it's
least
random.
diverse group of
That's-
kids signing up for it, or it could be extremely diverse.
Right.
Right.
You know, and I feel we do METCO, which maybe we don't, and I've said it before, maybe we need to add a few more students to that. Maybe that, if you really want to be diverse, at least in one aspect of students, that's a definite.
All right, well, I think we had some great discussion tonight. I think what we could do is maybe come back to it for a vote if anyone wants to maybe speak with anyone on the leadership team, do a little of their own due diligence on it. I'm more than happy to just leave it as a discussion tonight.
At the council meeting on Tuesday, members agreed on the performance review form they'll use to conduct their first annual assessment of town manager Denise Bernard as required by the charter.
When I looked at it, I thought with the categories that are included on there, the rating gives everybody a fair chance to put individual input in without really, kind of arguing about it. You have your own to do. Each council member will have their own evaluation to do. The categories are obviously rated 1 through 5, then divided by 5 as an average. The last few pages allow us to have written comments about performance.
It was mutually understood that whatever the charter, the language in the charter called for changes or implementations, that the town manager would use that as the framework for the goals for this year, that fiscal year that we're in.
So,
It sounds like we should all fill it out.
Fill it out.
Right.
Take a blended average of the scores.
Right.
You know, so if, take them all, you know, add 'em
basically,
up,
what I'd like to
divide
see
'em.
is that the final document would be something produced by the council after we
As a
talk about
collective
it, as
of
a
the
collective of,
Right.
of
All right.
everybody's. But this way, everybody has some
An
time to think
opportunity
about it, an opportunity to weigh in on whatever you think strengths and weaknesses might be, so on and so forth, areas of improvement, things that she's done exceptionally well, whatever. And then we blend that document to one, but if we start with everybody having that say, then everybody's input is included in the final document, so that way
Okay.
it's not, to me, it seems fair.
That makes
Counselors agreed to provide their written evaluations for open discussion at the next council meeting on April 10th. Note that the meeting will also include the presentation of the FY19 budget by the town manager and the director of finance. Finally, a liquor license hearing continued from the prior meeting addressed a request from the beer shop for an all-alcohol off-premises license to add spirits to their current inventory of specialty craft beers and wines.
I just want to open up with a highlight of what we've been doing for the last 5 years. Our overall goal was always to have a high-end niche package store that embodies celebration with the emphasis on craft beer. We've furthered that with the selling of home brewing supplies, and now we'd like to sell all alcohol. Anyone that's been in our shop can tell that it's different from other liquor stores. It's well lit. It just has a good vibe amongst it. It's not dingy and dull. We're a small business. In the last town meeting, I heard someone mention that East Long Meadow is one of the better places to open up a small business in Massachusetts, and we're a product of that, and we'd like to continue to grow. Over the last 5 years, we've donated to several charities from local, like the EEF, Autism Speaks, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Hamden County, and various others. We're a part of this town, and we'd like to continue to grow, and doing so, change of license to sell all alcohols.
Thanks. Is there any other public comment?
Randy White, 49 Harkness. I just want to reiterate that my wife and I are not here to impede Mr. Caudill's business in any way. We like and respect both of them. I think they have a great business as it stands right now. However, I feel that this town meeting gives us our one and only opportunity to proactively address our concerns, which were concerns back in 2012 when they initially had the application for the new business. If the council's decision is a binary decision, yes liquor, no liquor, we have to oppose that application because we have no other recourse. Our specific gripes are with single-serve liquor bottles, which will include nips, half pints, and pints. After 14 some odd years of being a resident at 49 Harkness, we have plenty of experience and plenty of observations that this can only hasten the problems that we see now, which are people cutting across our property. In the last 8 months, my neighbor and I had one separate run-in each with alcoholic, or I should say intoxicated pedestrians. Fortunately, that didn't escalate to anything requiring law enforcement. I'm trying to make a proactive approach to not have the stuff that I can foresee that's going to happen to our neighborhood. Most of the time people will say, as the saying goes, not my backyard. This is my backyard.
And no, I appreciate you taking the time to come up and voice your concerns, and we listened to what you had to say, you know, last time. I mean, part of the dilemma is that you can't punish somebody for what might happen in the future. And although I agree with your point that I don't see the purpose of a high-end niche store selling those things, we can't issue a license and say you can sell a 1 liter, but you can't sell a nip. I don't believe that's within our purview to do that. So it is, we're looking at a very responsible business owner who's run a very good business and has no issues and is very good standing with the town. And I know I stopped by there, Kathy, I know you did, Mike, I believe you did too. Yeah, and Don, and stopped in Taos for a bite, walked around the property. I think I got there the same day that they had a gentleman cleaning the lot. And it's tough, your proximity, I mean, that's gonna be a problem, for you. And I hope it doesn't become a worse problem. And if it does become a worse problem, then I think, some action's gonna have to be taken.
I wouldn't want to see them penalized, the petitioner penalized for, actions that you're seeing at this point in time that aren't any cause of what they've created at this time. But we will be watching that if what this board votes tonight is
Understood, and it's great to know that there is some recourse that we have. But again, quite frankly, we're fond of these people and their business. So if there was something, I don't think our first action would be to approach the town. It would be to approach them. Because again, I think we can perhaps work this out before we start getting into something deeper. And again, I in no way want to impede them from growing their business. So again, if it's nice to know that there is that recourse there, but I think we can be amicable enough to start the process, working it out individually, and go from there.
And we're here for you. That's all we all want you to know. We're here.
I appreciate that.
All right, so now we can, anybody else? Nope. Nope. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the liquor license change of category from wines and malt beverages off premises to all alcoholic beverages off premises for the beer shop.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now let's see what's happening at the East Longmeadow Library in the upcoming week. On Tuesday, April 3rd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is Great Decisions. Great Decisions is America's largest discussion program on world affairs. The program model involves reading the briefing book, watching the DVD, and meeting in a discussion group to talk about the most critical global issues facing America today. Copies of the briefing book are available at the library, and registration for the meetings are required. The topic for Week 5 is Turkey, a partner in crisis. Register online or call 525-5400, extension 1511. On Friday, April 6th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. is Not Just Knitting. This group offers an open space to connect with others, share materials or ideas, and spend a relaxing morning at the library. New members are always welcome. On Saturday, April 7th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is Creative Writing for Teens. This creative writing workshop with a focus on science fiction and fantasy is open to teens ages 14 and up. Be prepared to write, read, and share your work, receive constructive feedback, learn the fundamentals of fiction, and explore two of the most popular literary genres. This group is open to aspiring authors at all levels. Bring paper and a pen, or a laptop or tablet, and your imagination. Registration is required. This group will meet every Saturday from April 7th to May 26th. That will do it for this week's edition of LCAT News. I'm Jen Carlos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.